Hello and welcome, it's Carnage. We are taking a look at G.I. Joe Classified. He has quite a lot of accessories and several different looks. So let's go ahead and jump right into it with more of his tactical look. There are two head sculpts here. One, we could say, with his hair down, and the other with his hair up in the traditional samurai haircut. So, and here also have him holding his pistol, which does have a holster there on his thigh. He does come with a rifle, and it's Dusty's rifle. And I have to say right off the bat, I had a really tough time getting it into his hands. Are definitely made to hold swords. And between Dusty's gun being a little bit thin, Budo's hands being strong, I just had trouble getting that rifle in his hands. The pistol, no problem. And as far as I can tell, it's a new pistol. It does have the attachment for the laser scoping. I believe that's what it is. I got a close-up shot of it, and you tell me what you think. But, and this is more of his tactical armor, and I think the only reuse would be that scarf there, and we saw that with Xandar, and of course it was pink, matching Zorana's shirt, right? Yeah, Zorana's shirt. So, great looking tactical armor here, including gauntlets for his forearms that look really well. And let's just go ahead and turn him around here. There's his gauntlets, and look at that. You get the Japanese G.I. Joe there, which is a really cool detail to include. And of course, he does not have a backpack per se. There may be some pieces that extend over his back, but there is a vest, obviously, that can be removed. It has two pins, one on either side, sort of under the arms, and that basically just pops right off of there. Same with the belt. There's a single pin, and once you release that, the belt pops right off. And he does have the sheath there for one sword, but not both swords, because he has one other smaller sword. But we'll get to the swords. Right now, we're talking other things. And, of course, he does have a helmet for this look. We'll get to that because I have to change the head sculpt. But let's go ahead and take a look at his next configuration. He's sort of the modern tactical samurai look there with that long sword that is really impressive. Notice he has a comm device on his helmet and a really cool looking strap that goes around to hold the sheath on. And that sheath is equally long. Look at that. And he has yet another look. We'll go ahead and get into that right now. Okay, and here we have Budo in the full samurai traditional gear. You notice even the shin guards are different. We have gauntlets. We have a belt with two swords. I have to pop the other one in there. It's still in the old one. Then we have a vest that pops on the same as the other one. Two holes under each, one hole under each arm. And then there's also an overlay. I'm not quite sure what you would call that, but you have an extra piece that is removable. And then, of course, you have the really detailed samurai mask to complete Budo with his traditional samurai gear. And if I get the light in there, you can see, I think I don't have the mask on quite all the way, because normally I should be able to see his eyes there. I want to fix that. Okay. So now you can see his eyes, and that mask fits real tight. His chin will fit right up inside there. And if you have it on right, it'll be a bit of a challenge to get off, but it'll come off. But it fits super tight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. So you can really see that piece is a lot more prominent from behind, and you can also see how low that belt piece hangs. Really looks great. I feel like They have really outdone themselves this time. And then there's one more variation on this look without the mask. Okay, and here we go with sort of the final variation. And of course, I have another shot of the bare bones look, and we should probably talk about that too, because it's... And finally, we have Budo bare bones with no armor. He does have some armor on his shins. That's about it. You can see the pistol stands out a bit more. So this is a great look too. And you could, of course, maybe just use one piece or just use the lower piece. So there are a lot of variations within these variations. I've seen some folks complaining about the gun. It's Dusty's gun, and as I mentioned earlier, I am having a challenge even getting it into his hands. So I don't remember Budo even having a gun back in the Real American Hero days. Does he need a gun? He's got 3 swords. He's a samurai, and he has a pistol. I think he's good. You know, I will probably wind up giving that gun to somebody else and keeping Budo as a swordsman with a pistol when he needs it. So, in my opinion, this is definitely a 10 of 10. I don't know if it's figure of the year, as some folks have stated. Let's wait a little bit and see. Once we've had him for a little bit, you know, I'll be taking a ton of pictures with this guy. So let's see how he ages, and we have some other things on the way, and we've had a lot of things arriving recently. So it's a busy time for G.I. Joe Classified, and Budo is a fantastic addition to the line. I highly recommend Budo. Again, a 10 of 10 from Carnage. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time. Budo, what a fantastic figure. All of these different looks really just kind of bring to mind Tripwire for me. I thought they did a great job on him as well, and there were enough accessories in there for 2 figures. I'm not the type to go and buy a second figure of a non-troop builder just so I can display him in both of his uniforms. Obviously, those of us who do photography are going to be swapping these things frequently. And I suspect I'll be using Budo quite a bit. Here we have him with Storm Shadow and Jinx. He is a tall guy. He's not quite a head taller than Storm Shadow, but just about. So certainly noticeable. I probably should have done a few more side-by-sides, maybe done one with one of the larger figures, but I didn't. Maybe I'll do some photos that I'll add on my page a little bit later. I think Slice and Dice are just fantastic to use to pose him with. They did such a great job on those 2. And I think they both really look great with Budo. I think I tended to go for Dice a little bit more, but those are both great figures with a lot of different interchangeable pieces and looks to give them a number of different appearances like Budo. So I feel like those are very complementary figures to pose with our Budo. Well, there we go through our photos. Thanks for watching, folks. We will see you next time. Happy Halloween!